Texas organizations are working around the clock to keep people off the streets and in a warm shelter. Joining me this morning, Daniel Roby, the CEO of Austin Street Center. Thanks for being here with us.
That's my pleasure. Thanks for having me on, Shannon.
So Austin Street Center worked with the city and Our Calling to activate a shelter at Fair Park for up to 1,200 people experiencing homelessness. How did everything go over the weekend?
Well, it has been a very intense weekend. This has been the fastest ramp up for inclement weather shelter that we have ever had, and we've been doing this now for almost 9 years. So we are currently at almost 1,200 individuals, and that's not including the folks that we've helped to coordinate to get into hotels, like families. We've had 15 adults, 23 kids that we've moved into hotels, and there's additional 13 animals that are on site. So we've got lots of dogs. We want to make sure that there's no barriers of people to make sure they can access safe shelter. I mean, it is freezing cold out there, and we know that people will get frostbite. There's even people every year that end up freezing to death, and so we want to make sure that doesn't happen to anyone in our community and that they know there's room for them at Fair Park.
You know, it's interesting you bring up the animals. I was just talking with my colleague Lauren Prisball about this, how there are some people who just won't accept help or don't want to go to shelters because maybe they feel like they can't go because they have a dog, or there's another issue to where they don't want to go into the shelter. I mean, what would your message be there?
Well, that certainly is something that we want to make sure everybody knows, get this message out, that animals are accepted at the inclement weather shelter at Fair Park, and we're going to make sure that we accommodate everyone, regardless of the animal that they bring with them. We also have a message that goes out with all of our different crews that kind of comb the streets and are driving around picking up people. That's including Dallas Fire and Rescue, Our Calling, the Stew Pot, DDI. So many of our partners that are out there driving around, we make sure that people know when we see them, hey, don't try to brave it right now. This is not the time to be able to be tough. This is the time to be safe, and your animal needs to be safe too, and we'll accommodate for that.
Yeah, these temperatures, it can be, deadly for someone who's living on the streets. How critical was it for you guys to get this temporary shelter up and running, as soon as you heard about this weather coming in?
Well, I'll never forget about the time that there was somebody at one of our inclement weather shelters that shared with another staff member about how somebody froze to death in the same tent with them. And they woke up and they'd both been unsheltered together for years. And he decided, you know what, I can't believe that happened, and I don't want that to happen to me. So even though I've never gone into shelter before, I'm going to do it today. And we do see this. We see a take-up rate of typically 85% of people. If you have a shelter bed, they'll take it. And that doesn't include inclement weather times like now. Almost everybody we approach in this weather says they want to come in, they want to be safe. They just need to know it's available. So we appreciate Fox 4 for getting the message out with us, and we're also making sure that we text people that we have got their phone numbers to, and we've got drivers around to make sure that we identify people and let them know that they can come.
All right, Daniel, I appreciate your time today. I really appreciate what you guys are doing. I know your team is working hard behind the scenes and traveling in these dangerous conditions yourselves to find people and get them the help they need. So thank you so much for what you're doing in our community. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.